All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? Give me a second. Can y'all hear me? Before we get started, I wanted to know if you all can hear me. I want to make sure. Oh, Dick, I didn't mean to close that out. Okay, loud and clear. So, we just finished up a show over there. We're all about the tea. Make sure y'all go check it out. When I tell you, when I do these shows, you never know who's going to be on the panel, or you never know if they agree with you or don't agree with you. When you do these shows, you got to be on it because you just never know. I will say this: anytime that you do a show, because people always say when you do shows, when people disagree with you, you never get emotional. You just stand 10 toes down when it comes to it. So we were talking about Krishan Rock and Krishan Rock being a bad mother. And I said, I don't think she's a bad mother because the child have not been removed from her home. She have not lost custody of the child. And until we see like evidence or proof that then I can change my stance and say, okay, we have court documents. Then I also said on the show, if it is some abuse going on, go to go and protest on the outside and bring more awareness to the case. Now, I know for a fact that people have not done it because there was no evidence or proof. Nobody said they done it. So one lady called in. She said, "Listen, I called Child Protective Services and 1,500 people. They said they had gotten 1,500 calls. So you mean to tell me um, out of 1,500 calls, you mean to tell me that the child have not been removed?" Somebody said, "While you need to change." Thank you, Lady T. Welcome. Said, "While you need to charge for a proper YouTube etiquette and how to maintain composure in a hostile situation conversations." I mean, for me, honestly, you just let a person talk. I did debate in high school. You let a person get their point of across, and when a person insults you, that's when you know a person is you're winning the argument. So when one of the guys on the panel and he was just insulting me personally, I'm winning the argument. Just like we had a white gentleman on the show, and we've been having a situation about the trans conversation, and he called me and he said on the show, "Oh, you transphobic, you this and this and this." He started insulting me. So that right then and there make me I'm a clear winner of the argument. So I told anybody, I said, if you have a subject and your subject is Krishan, stay on Krishan, and you give your talking points and say A, B, C, D, E. This is all the stuff or why she's a bad mother. So what makes for a good show, tell anybody what makes for a good show is to have a pro and have those that say against. Like, I'm against that because it makes a good show. I don't like to be a part of a show where everybody agree with the same subject because as a viewer, you get bored by that. The reason why I feel that The View has been around for 2 decades, going almost to 3 decades, is because they have everybody have a different point of view, and there have been many episodes of The View where it get heated. I mean, if you ever go back to Rosie, when Rosie went against that girl, Elizabeth, it gets really, really heated. So I'm gonna always give my opinion. All of this, oh, you're not a father, you don't have. So just because I don't have children, I don't have an opinion. Actually, it makes me smart to not have any children. So, because bringing children in this world can be very challenging now because you got a lot of stuff that's going on. But I feel also too what I said to Super Shot, I said be very cautious on um what you put on the show and what you put on the internet because people are going to talk about it. You did so well all about to see. I thought the caller was so rude. The caller were rude. You can't insult a person because I don't agree with you. The whole world is not believing that Krishan is a bad mother. That's a fact. And even the situation with Sean David Wade, he don't care nothing about that baby. He's getting clicks and views because if he really cared, why he not out there protesting and bringing his camera and going to the police station and saying that why y'all not investigating Krishan? Why? And use your camera. Um, They said, in my opinion, I thought Monica as a whole should not have allowed them to gang up on you. Monica know I can handle that. It makes for a good show. And being in this business, because a lot of people were tuned in, a lot of people were commenting. If the show did not have drama, they wouldn't have called in. They wouldn't have responded. Is because I stand 10 toes down in my opinion and I didn't bend on it. It makes for a good show. Just like when we had a show with Judge Vonda Evans, the retired judge. That show did very well because you had some that was pro Carmelo Anthony. You had some that felt that Carmelo Anthony should go to prison for more time. And I take that point of view. So if I can be the bad guy, let me be the bad guy. I'm here to entertain you. I don't get too involved trying to report people, go to child protective stuff, because again, we don't know. We now with Kashawn 24/7. She only give us a slice of her life, in which I think you shouldn't even put that on the show. Somebody said to me, it was not a good show. I stopped watching. Oh my gosh, no, don't stop watching. Keep watching. Keep getting the clicks and views. I was shocked to see you in the chat because I invited you yesterday to come on, so that's good that you came through. And I tell anybody, if you don't like a person point of view, call in. That's what the show is for, and be like, hey, let me call in. I got this to say. And just like one of the ladies didn't agree with me, but she said one thing I do agree with Wiley with is that he said we should go out there and protest and put boots on the grounds if you really believe that Julia is being harmed, because the media will get involved. One thing I didn't like, which I think is very stupid for that person, is that white lady. She gonna say I'm slow. How you say you so positive, you so people, and then you gonna call somebody slow and you white? Hold up, white lady, back up off me like that. This is Juneteenth. This ain't the day for you to insult me. I will call you out. You will be called out. Don't you dare come out of your mouth and insult me. You're a white lady. You go call me slow after my ancestors helped to give white people rights, especially white women. DEI benefited white women more than it benefited black women. I'm just keeping it all the way real. I was like, whoa. I said, let me get up here and respond. Yeah, because she didn't think I caught it. I said, now wait a minute. How you gonna sit here and respond to me that way? Yeah, on Juneteenth. I said, let me call this lady out. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me call this lady out. That's exactly what I did. 1 second. But I will say to you all, give me a second, you guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. What to say? Yeah. Oh, hey, Monica. Monica's on. Hey, so I feel like when you do a show, people gonna disagree. Listen, I have done so many shows with so many people. I love when a person disagree with me because again, when that viewer sit in that seat, they are entertaining. And once I cut the camera off, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the big defender of Krishan. I don't even hardly do any Krishan content, really. But now that I see there's such a response of Krishan, I'm gonna have to look into it and do some more content about her to be on the other side. But I also would say, this in general terms, um, if you disagree with Krishan, if you feel like Krishan is the terrible mother, to get the media involved, if you want to get the media involved, protest, get out there and march, especially if you're a white woman. Especially if you sit there and you're a white woman, you get you 100 white women saying justice for Junior, you best believe uh, that you're going to have people that's going to bring the media going to be in there. Okay? It's like, because one thing I can say, the situation with what is that cult? That cult, that black cult, carbonation. So many people are doing videos about carbonation. So one of the viewers decided to download all the videos, start cooperating with the police, start cooperating with the detectives. And it just so happened that they started dealing with the detective. They started talking to the detective. The detective said, "Give me all the video footage." So what I'm saying is, I find it quite strange because one of the viewers said she called Child Protective Services, and when she called Child Protective Services, they said 15,000 people called. I highly don't believe that. They don't really tell you how many callers, how many reports have been. That's quite suspicious. They say you and I disagree all the time. I stepped in several times. That's what Monica said. I stepped in several times, and they said, Wiley, you and I disagree all the time. Like you did, like that. I like that. You allow all opinions in your chat because it makes for a good show. They say I've been saying this since last year. People should protest. It will have never happened. I believe it's because of the location safety. I really don't. I don't know if that's the reason. Because even if that is a reason, if you really feel that justice need to be for Junior, go out there and protest. I mean, go out there to the mayor's office. I'm saying if you really want to be an activist, the same thing with Sean Davy Way. Sean Davy Way don't care nothing about victims. He don't care. That man said and lied. He derogatory lied on me, said allegations. He said all type of evil stuff towards me. I don't believe none of that man. That man is doing that for clicks and views because when the views had dropped, and he saw another YouTuber doing views on Krishan, he decided he want to stand there and do because it's getting you clicks and views. You don't care nothing about that child. Now, one time that man said, "I'm out here protesting." Now, I did see a content creator. I ain't gonna say no names. I would say Sean because he got a lot of subscribers, so I say his name. It was a content creator that would get some publicity, but he threatened me, so I can't say his name until he apologized and do right by people. So he went to the DNA place and recorded it. They kicked him out. He was going. I'm like, okay, but I want to see you out there protesting for Junior. I don't see you out there protesting for Junior. I told him, I said, why you ain't out there protesting? Of course, he cussed me out and threatened me, but I said that's more gracious. They said they say I've been saying this since last year. People should protest over that map, I believe. Because all about he said, could you imagine if we rally and 500 people protested? Yes, it would mean something. And if you this one you know, listen, if I believe I will say this that Sean really cares. If I see him out there, at least I'm gonna give a good reasonable number, 50 people. 50 people that live in the DMV area, they out there protesting, and I guarantee you the media will show up. And if you get some white folks, oh, best believe the media will show up. Best when I tell you the media will definitely show up, then I can say, oh, you really care. Just like Tasha K. Tasha K interview. I'm about to share this, and I know it's gonna hurt some people. This about to hurt some people. Tasha K interviewed Bilal, right? Bilal got all these subscribers to go on his show. I mean, got all them subscribed to go to Tasha K app. Now Bilal saying, I'm homeless. I'm homeless. I can't pay the legal fees. And I sent the message. I said, why you ain't getting no money for Tasha K? Tasha K made hundreds of thousands of dollars off them subscribers off your interview. See, you got to be careful, want to go and try to help somebody and knowing that you need money in your bank account. What you should have did, Brother Bilal, you should have went to Tasha K and said, Tasha K, can you please give me some coin because I'm homeless? Can you give me some coins because my bank account is low so I can help fight these legal fees? See, that's why you got to be careful out here battling with these celebrities and you ain't got no money. Get somewhere and sit down with that. He said Sean does care about the baby. Well, respectfully, I disagree. Because if he cared about that child, he need to be out there with his cap on, protesting and marching for that child. And then I believe it. And then if you calling the media, then you know it's like people they look at that stuff like, oh, he's just doing this for clicks and views. like show me a protest. I'm just saying. All he doing is get clicks and views. Now, do I believe that Blueface, that child is Blueface? Yes, I believe that child is Blueface. I believe that Blueface should get a DNA test just to be sure, and I hope that Krishan stopped bringing a child to YouTube. I remember YouTube like bringing a child to YouTube because you're gonna be scrutinized and people gonna start questioning your money. I remember it was a viewer, right? And I said, sis, you gotta stop coming on live with that baby crying in the background. She didn't want to believe me. So one time she got up and she hit her child on camera. And when she hit the child on camera, they called the people on her. The child wasn't removed, but they did say you can't do that. I think she had to take a parenting class. But I said, be careful what you do on the internet because people are watching. You never know who's watching you. They said, while you're trolling, is next level, child. You know that baby is not blue. I do believe that baby is blue. And if it's not, it's not. I'm not going to lose no ounce of sleep. I'm just getting a click and a view. You think, to be honest, I really, hey, if it ain't his, it ain't his. I do believe it's his. But if it ain't his, is I going to lose an ounce of sleep about it? Absolutely not. But no, I had a good time. I had a good time on my show. And I tell this, I love good debates. The reason, and I tell people, I even said this to the previous panel that was working with Monica. I said, you cannot allow the chat to get into your head and mess up a good thing that is going. One of the things that I felt that was a disservice is that they're allowing the public to get under their skin, and none of them people are doing videos now. I'm not that type of person because if you quote unquote gang up on me, do it. It's good for a show. I'm going to give my opinion. And one thing about it in my head, if you cuss me out, if you cuss at me, which that gentleman did, if you call me slow, which that white lady did, that means I'm winning the argument. Because the subject is Krishan a bad mother? I believe so. You should stay on Krishan. But if you want to insult me, that's fine. But I thought you said you wanted justice for Junior. So before you get on that pedestal to say that Krishan is so evil, Krishan is so bad, you better believe that your closet is clean because you just got out there and insulted another black man. And I ain't insulting calling nobody. But when that white lady said that, oh yeah, that's plainly racist because she would have said if I was a white man. She wouldn't have uttered that out of her mouth if she was a white man. And then she had audacity, but you supported Trump, so what? That doesn't give you the right to insult me. A black man on Juneteenth, who are you? How do you know about this black culture? And you probably were the same white lady that sat there and voted for Trump. Right? So again, I like them type of shows because the reason why I like working with Monica, and I like it because um in order for in order uh because it brings the response of the people. Because again, I've watched shows. Have you ever watched shows and and everybody agree with the show? That's a boring show. I like to watch when you have people that's people call it rage baiting, but I just call it a good debater because when you send it home, then you comment, then you view. So let me see something real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something real quick because hold up. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me go to it. Give me a second. I probably will have to come back and do like a part two. But today's episode was really good. I love that. Okay, so video just ended. We're all about to see the video just ended, right? They said somebody find that baby. They will find him unalive because Blue keeps denying her and that baby. Watch and see. That's what a viewer said. Another viewer just commented up there and said, CR knows Blue is not Junior dad. Real dad was taken out of here. The girl has 4 bodies. Oh, that's what they're saying, right? There was another person saying, where is at the doctor's office? Oh my God, his weight looks perfect for his age. I would do. I got her back. She's doing her best. That's the thing what I love about a show is when you disagree it brings more viewership. It brings, that's the key of a panel show. The secret sauce of a panel show is when you have friction on the panel and you got to stand 10 toes down on what you believe in. And what it does, it's like a it's like a psychology. It's like it makes that person call in and say what they have to say, because a lot of them either triggered, offended, but it makes for a good show. Why do you think Fox News talks so negatively about Black folks? Because the audience love that. Why do you think they bring Black people to speak so negatively about Black people? Because the audience love is good for ratings. Even CNN got a show with Abby Phillips where they do a panel show and they be arguing, they be yelling, they be insulting each other on the panel show. Because why? Because they saw the success of Fox News getting all that viewership and they said, how can we eat off that as well? So that's what I love that. So when it comes to the show, when you have a show with Monica, her as a moderator, your sole job is to have conversation, and which she did well, because we all was on that panel giving strong point of view. Then I had to chime in. I said, now wait a minute, sister. It was a lady on there saying all time of slanderous stuff. And I was like, hold up, let's make sure. Let's say allegedly. Let's say allegedly, because I want to protect myself and I want to protect my friend's show as well. I want to say Monica, because I'm going to say allegedly. They said, now I get what you be doing. I'm like, wildly opinion, but be out of this damn world. It's not only that, I still don't believe that Krishan is a terrible mother. I don't see it. And that's what I believe. And you could agree with it or not agree with it. Mm-hmm. And if y'all believe it, get on your shoes, get you a flight, get you a Greyhound, and go and protest. Why haven't nobody done that? We got a lot of subjects we'll get into today. Why ain't nobody done that? Because these same folks was just on the platform saying justice for Carmelo Anthony. And then next week it says, get that Black woman mother away from her child. Like, oh, I don't know. But I don't believe Krishan is Moses. I meant to say that on Monica's show. And I had it in my notes. I'm looking at my notes right here. And I said, she is not Moses. Because Krishan don't get on her platform, on her show, or her live. And she says she is Moses. I'm like, hold on, sister. You're not Moses. So don't say that. You're not Moses. When I heard that, I said, come on, sister. Don't get too caught in your ways. You think you're Moses. You're not Moses. But I did like the fact that we all had great conversations and stuff like that. One thing I can say as well, when you do a panel show, get your talking points. You know, talk about the subject. But don't get mad at your panelists because they don't agree with you. I gotta keep saying that. Because some of y'all, it's not going to be successful. You're always going to be mad and angry because everybody's not going to agree with you. Now, what if somebody else was on the panel and saying Krishan is a good mother? Are you going to call them dumb, slow, and all? No. In this country, in America, you have a right to give your opinion. And if you want to insult somebody and all that, be very cautious with that. It was a guy that he was trying to make, he would say racist things to provoke. And I guess one of the guys, somebody posted his name in the chat. I think he hit him and he tried to delete him. I believe it was something like that. But his sole purpose was, let me provoke a Black man by saying racist things towards him. I can't think of his name. I know it was a white guy. He's still in jail right now. So you got to be careful. It was a guy, it was a video, and this, I don't like the type of content, but they was live, they was at Walmart, and this heavy set guy said, give me that boy, to a Black man. So that Black man grabbed him, and he said, oh my gosh, no, it's a prank, it's a prank. But you can't be out here pranking like that. That is dangerous. I don't know if y'all seen that video. he grabbed that man and he said, "Oh my gosh, no, 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 no. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank." I was like, you better be careful doing that. Just like it was a dude um that was exposing DL man. He will record them and post it on the internet. This is before the DL whisper. The DL whisper just be talking. This dude would actually sleep with these men and record it and post it all on the internet. And then one of the dudes actually went past his grandmother's house, got his pow and pow the house. Then he got caught up because one of the guys or the crew or the gang or whatever seen him and caught him and jumped on him. So you have to be very cautious doing that type of content. And but again, that algorithm really pushes that because I've seen so many of these type of content on the internet, So that was that. So I want to open up with that, but it's so many topics I got to get into, and I am definitely sorry that we are late doing this show, but I made a commitment and I said we're gonna go live, and I see y'all in the chat. I was watching Tasha K, and Tasha K said that Tyler Perry is gay. Now, Tasha, didn't you just get sued? What's your evidence that he's gay? Do you have any proof that he's gay? Do you have any evidence that he's gay? I believe Tyler Perry is an amazing director. I do believe that Tyler Perry, his sexuality should be kept. That's between him and whoever he's sleeping with. But to just say that he's gay, there's no evidence to back that up or claim to say Tyler Perry is gay. But it was some reports that Tyler Perry, the white guy that's suing him, was saying that Tyler Perry refused to talk about his sexuality in a deposition. But then Tyler Perry lawyer said no, he did not refuse to do it. He just don't want to be going down a rabbit hole. It's like, what is the reason for that? So they have a conversation. I did see that on TMZ, and then also the lawyers were saying that this man that is suing Tyler Perry is mad because he cut him off financially. You know, when you cut people off financially, they have a whole lot of nasty stuff to say about you. As long as you paying that person their bills, as long as you paying their mortgage and their car note and all that, you was sweet, 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 sweet. Soon as you cut them off, you got it's something negative about you. Soon you cut them off, it's something negative that they gonna drag you in the streets. That's one thing I love about myself. Like I had to learn when things don't go my way, just move on. Don't give it that energy. Don't give it that energy. Just move on. Because everything is not going to go your way. This is, we live in a world where people are going to always have thoughts about you. And my mother said something so clear as day when she did an episode on my show. She said, Marquise, you got to learn how to get out of people, because one thing too, people going to talk about you. You can't let it like make you don't want to do it no more, because if that's the case, then you shouldn't do it. But you have to learn how to annoy, people that's trying to take you down and stuff. Like, you got to move forward, and so I've learned how to develop a thick skin. They said, and so what if he's gay? I don't understand how scared obsession with trying to out people, especially black men, because she have an underlying homophobia and transphobia. Like, just like she went against, I got it in my notes, y'all, bear with me. She went against T.S. Madison, start misgendering her. And I don't agree with misgendering people, because I want to respect people and be like, okay, let's respect their pronouns. It took me a while to come to that, but we're in a different world, and you do have people that deciding to say, hey, I am, a woman. They identify with that, and so we want to make sure we give them the proper pronouns. There was cases or situations with black folks where we would call so many names, so many derogatory names, and we still have to fight to be saying, hey, I'm African American, or I'm an American. Now it's a new term that's floated around. I'm a fundamental Black American. So and they call them FBA. So you got to be very, cautious when it comes to, being so negative and trying to out people and stuff. Because when you're doing it, you're trying to say being gay is wrong. It is not wrong, being gay. It's not wrong with being a lesbian. If that is what you want to do in this country, you should be able to do that. That's your business. Whatever's going on in your bedroom between two consistent adults, that is you. And don't get on a, and then when I see people try to get on a pedestal and use the Bible, make sure that you're clean. Make sure that your closet is clean. Make sure that you're living a righteous life, but don't use one scripture, especially when it comes to LGBT or being gay, have been added to the scripture back in the 40s. So again, we have to be very cautious on the things that we do. And of course, I've been like kind of researching like the Bible, and I've noticed that it's different versions of the Bible, of the Hebrew Bible. They got the Ethiopian Bible, and the King James is a version. Then you got the English version. So the question is, which version of the Bible do you believe in? So that's, we don't want to have that type of conversation. See, I didn't see it take time when you start researching it and be like, okay, which Bible do you believe in? Because you do know that the King James version is that King James version is a version. That means that it was a version before the King James version. Then I was doing some research. They said it was a book in the Bible about Mary's life, Jesus' mother's life. They said it was another book that was more into Genesis, into Eve. Then it was a somebody else said before God gave him Eve, that it was another woman that God gave Adam. So when you start digging and researching, there's different perspectives of the Bible. And it's something that's very important. I've been watching the History Channel, when I was watching Discovery and History Channel and all of that. They said the scripture have been debated for centuries. So that's always going to be hot button issues. And now they always say about who's going to hell, who's going to this. And so it all changed, about women's, and stuff like that, and then people use the scripture to oppress women. People have used the scripture to oppress black folks. You know what I'm saying? Just stick with me. They have used the scripture to oppress, people that is poor. So it's just got to be very cautious on how you use the scripture. Use the scripture to live a better life. Don't use the scripture to police people. All right. So you got to be very cautious with that. Because when I was in jail, I like the English version Bible. This is the new King version. They got different versions of the Bible. I like the version that break it in plain English versus like the King James version, because they'd be like, oh, whoa, what do that mean? Whoa, what's the meaning of that? Yeah. So I did see what happened in the topic here. She was talking about Pinky Cole. She was saying that Pinky Cole was get involved with a man, with her boss, with an employee. She was saying all type of nasty stuff about Pinky Cole, and I'm like, what is your problem with the people? And I said, Tasha, you really trying to get in a lawsuit with Pinky Cole? I'm like, whoa, but I said that's what her audience like. They like it when she lie on people. They like that. That's what they like. Give me a second. She was saying the allegations. She posts audio clips. Damon Van Zant, the son of Iana Van Zant, who claims to have been in a relationship with Pinky Cole during the early stages of her business. Then she made some controversial claims and said that Damon Van Zant alleged that he helped her get opportunities of Fix My Life, and that their business venture started in his apartment. He made graphic claims about how she managed business distractions. She also said that Tasha K shared direct messages from Pinky Cole, who denied these allegations, labeling them as untrue, and states that she intends to involve the FBI regarding Damon Van Zant claims. And you should, especially if a person is lying on you, you get the authorities involved. Host stands. Tasha K asserts that she has simply reported on the allegations provided by her source, and that his content would be a part of a series covering the story as it develops. Yeah, it should. Um, so wait a minute, let me read that again. So wait, asserts that she has simply reported allegations provided by her source. But Tasha, be careful. Then you say you had a source about Cardi B and you got yourself in a lawsuit. I'm just saying, be very, very cautious. 1 second. Remember when she said that she had a source with Cardi B? And to find out that she didn't have no source, it was all lies. Let me go up to 1 second. So you got to be very cautious of that. I said, oh. So I'm gonna watch the replay because I had to go to I had to be at All About the Tea show. So I said, let me take these notes for that. And I said I'll go back and watch it. So I will be probably doing a part two, especially if Pinky Cole kind of respond to the situation. Okay. Um, Let me see. Give me one quick second. What else did I have on the title today? And I really feel bad, for NeNe Leakes' son behind bars. But again, it's been rumored that NeNe Leakes' son didn't pay child support. Give me a second while I can bring that up. Give me 1 second because I saw it down my timeline, and I really want to talk about it if I can get it one quick second. Um, okay, so this was on TMZ. They said NeNe Leakes' son jail over unpaid child support, allegedly missed drug evaluation. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum NeNe Leakes' oldest son, Bryson Bryant, is behind bars after a judge found he violated his probation. TMZ have learned per jail records. Um, Her son was booked on May 1st, right? He's currently held in a Georgia jail on charges of failure to pay child support, probation violation, and failure to appear. His bond is set at $27,000. The probation violation stems from a 2024 case in which cops say he was found with fentanyl during questioning. Cops said he told officer his name was Brent Leakes, which is the name of NeNe Leakes' youngest son. Brunson ended up being charged with giving a fake name to officer in possession of a controlled substance. He reached a plea deal, which he where the drug charge was dropped, but he was sentenced to 12 months probation. In addition, he was ordered to pay $500 in fines, complete 40 hours of 40 hours of community service, and get randomly drug tested and undergo a drug evaluation. TMZ obtained court documents filed on June 2nd, where the prosecutor claimed that Burson violated numerous terms of his 2024 probation, was including failure to report since the sentence and complete the substance abuse evaluation, perform his community service, and make any payments to be on the fine. Then he previously spoke out about her son addiction, saying he needed counseling and had a problem. So I want to say this: if you on probation, I was on probation twice. They give you that you got to do community service, you got to pay money. They give you stuff where you have to pay. It is best for you to follow the rules of your probation. If you do not follow the rules, that prosecutor can hold you, you can get a violation. And if you're not careful, you can go to prison for violating that, or prison or jail to finish up whichever how much time you got. You can go there into prison or to jail to finish up your sentence. I will never forget it when I was in front of the judge, and that judge told me that if you do not take care of your mental health, pick up a new charge, you go into prison. And that scared me. And so what did I do? I did everything they tell me to do. Took care of my mental health, the priority. My lawyer said that's the priority. Got into therapy, got on the medication. And so when that 1 year was up, I got a phone call and it said, your probation is up. Make sure you show up to court. Do not miss that court date. That was the same day that Armand was on Angela Yee radio show, when he was talking about, Cardi B not outselling Nicki. I was listening to that radio show on iHeart in the hallway, and my attorney said, Mr. Wiley, I said, yes. She said that the prosecutor are not going to object of you getting off probation, so you will be getting off probation today. So of course they call other cases, and then they called my name and they said you are officially off probation. So, and mind you, I was on probation when I was homeless. So I didn't have any leaks as a mama with money. I didn't have any of that or shelter. So it took me a while to get shelter, yet being on probation. So if you're on probation, make sure that you do everything possible to check in. If you have drugs evaluation, make sure you go to the courses and classes. Make sure you go to rehab. If you know you can't stay clean, a good strategy would be is to let your probation officer know, say, hey, I'm going to check myself in into the mental ward or to a drug place. So you can eat up all your time being there. And then you before you know it, your 1 year is up and you completed probation. So you got to make sure you do those things to make sure that you are completing probation because that can harm you. That was the same thing with Blueface. I think when he violated and he had to go to prison. So be very cautious. I've seen people violate their parole. I've seen people in court that violated their parole and their probation. Guess what? They went to prison. It was one guy. All the probation officer wanted him to do was check in. Check in. He had to literally leave the office to find him. And the lawyer was like, he don't have housing and his priority is he said that's not an excuse. You have to check in. And I will never forget my attorney told me when he said, listen, Wiley, he said, Marquise, he said, make sure you check in. He said, whatever you do, do not leave the state. Do not leave the state without getting permission from your probation officer. That's what he said. He said, I can help you, but it's going to be hard to defend you if you leave and they have to chase you down. And my probation officer said, listen, if I have to come find you, then you have to pay for all the hotel stay, the rental cars, and had the communication with all that to even expedite you back to Las Vegas. So don't do it. And guess why I didn't do it? I completed it by following the rules. So you got to follow the rules. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I know it's late, but I know y'all gonna catch this in the light. I said oh, big Tigger. So we talked about this all about the tea, and I agree when I said, and I'm gonna repeat it over here. You have to be very cautious when you're dealing with domestic violence and you get hit or you claim that you've been abused and you post this, right? And we all as a public, like, oh my gosh, why would he do this? Why we do why? And then you come out the next day, I never said my husband beat me. Oh, wait a minute. You said he was abusive. You said you were a victim of domestic violence. Then the next day you saying your husband didn't do it. Either A, you need some treatment, a psych ward, counseling, or B, he didn't do it. Because why are you gonna come out that next day and say he wasn't abusive? And I'm looking, hold up, lady. Didn't you just say he was? How will you get up on there and say that he was abusive and then say he wasn't? And I get it because some people would say, Wiley, in domestic violence, people change their story and people come to a different conclusion. I understand that and I get that. I get that and I understand that. But please do not say a man abused you and then that next day you want to change your opinion because that make you that to me in the eyes of the court of public opinion, even in the court of law, that you're clearing the person that you claimed abused you. So it'd be hard to get charges against someone you even denying that he was that you were denying that he was abusive. So that hurts your case. And I want to share this, and I say this with all due diligence. If you are dealing with domestic violence, please leave. If you are dealing with domestic violence, please leave that situation. I know some people are going to say, Wiley, that is so easy to say, but until you walk there, you don't know. But what I do know, if you don't leave, you either going to end up in a hospital or in the grave. If you don't leave, those are the two situations where you're going to end up either the hospital or in the grave. And I don't want that for you. So if you are dealing with that, go, and I will never forget it. It was a viewer said she wanted to talk about being abused. I said, ma'am, I'm not bringing you on the show. You need to go to the authorities and go try to go to a shelter, a domestic violence shelter. But I'm not bringing you on the show because you say you was abused and you come on the show. I'm not doing that. No, if you really going through that, ma'am, go get you some help. And I was sending her resources and I never heard from her again. But I'm not using that type of person, that type of situation for no clicks and views because that's too serious. So if you're dealing with that, because coming to me is not going to bring you justice, that's actually can accelerate you of getting harmed by that man. Are there with me? Make sure y'all thumbs up and share this live. I do, if anybody want to come on and share their thoughts, you are more than welcome to come on up. And I will have the phone lines up as well. We're live on Kick, and we're live on Kick, and we're also live on StreamYard. StreamYard. We're live on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Also, I will open up the phone lines as well if you want me to if you want to call in as well. But last night, when I tell you we had a ball over there, let me put the number. Thank you, Tasha. When I tell you last night, we had a ball over there on Armand Wiggins' Kick. That man was live for 7 hours. When I tell you it was lit, it was lit. It was lit. I told Armand, I said, you bring it, it's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna put this out there. If Armand want me to be a cameraman, I will put my show on pause to be a cameraman for Armand Wiggins. Because I love helping him. And me and him have beautiful conversations. And he's such a help for the Wiley Show. And I told Armand, I said, I would love to be your cameraman because I don't want to talk. I just want to witness greatness. Yeah, just like for my living room setup. Thanks for like my living room setup. I have a Google TV now. Yeah, I love it. It's set up. It's dope. I love how you have it set up. And I said, I will be there for you. And many people judge me and say, oh no, that's not your friend. Maybe you haven't had a friend that had a dream that you know that's going to be successful. Maybe you don't have that. Maybe you are the type of friend that hate on your friend that's actually doing something positive. But I'm there for him. And if he need me to go in there to live with him for 6 months, to help him with his IRL, to record him, I will do it. Why? Because I love him. Because I love him. And one of the viewers was mad that I was doing content about Armand Wiggins. And I said, one thing I love about the Wilder Show is that I can do a show talking about him. And if you don't like it, that's your opinion. Because at the end of the day, I'm grown and I should be able to talk about who I want to talk about, right? Is all right? For those that check this out on the replay, is all right? Comment in the chat, put a W in the chat. If I want to talk about that man, from sun up to sundown. That is my right to do as a host. That is my right. Oh, I don't like when you talk about it. Well, I don't like to put hot sauce on my burger. I don't like to put sugar in my in my grits. But you have a right. You have a right to put sugar in your grits if that's what you want to do. But he put on a good show. I had a good time last night. It was really good. Then he had an attractive man. Shout out to Mikey. He was on the show. I could play the replay, but I want to get permission from Armand before we start playing his kick. Before we start playing his kick stuff, I want to get permission from him first. Then once I get permission from him first, then I would play it in some of the highlights. So I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow and ask him, and if he give us the okay, we'll play it. If he don't, that's fine. I just give a review about what was said because it was dope. I enjoyed it. I had a good time because I feel like if you get a rejection, he used that. Also, let me announce, and he's already verified on Kick. Right now, he have and thank you for the people that's following me on Kick because we're gonna do some stuff on Kick too. I love Kick. I like it a little bit way better than Twitch though, because it's so easy. Let me go to it. Is he live? Because I was watching somebody else live too. Okay, he almost got 500 followers over there, and over 4,000 people tuned in to his Kick. So people is watching. Amen. Um, so I will share this, y'all. So I want to know from you all, what else do you want us to talk about? I did talk about Big Tigger. Thank you for the subscriber for saying talk about NeNe leaks. I did get that. We talked about Piggy Cole. I will, to the people that's watching B2K, they having a versus battle. So I will be reviewing the versus battle. I believe that's on the 25th. I think it's Pretty Ricky versus the B2K. B2K got more hits. So I don't, anyway. But I will be watching that versus battle. And then immediately following that versus battle, we will respond. I also want to say to the chat, I love y'all. Thank y'all for following us over there. We're all about the tea. Um, I love it that you all were there. But call in more. I love when callers call in because it adds to the conversation, even on this show. Um, call in and give your point of view. Sorry that we're late, because usually what I try to do, I try to go live before Monica live and then do all about the tea. But today, um, I was still recovering from when I was watching Armand's show. So by the time I woke up, it was already late in the evening. And I said, oh, let me, and then had to clean up, and I was like, oh, let me prepare. And then of course I had to watch about the content and take notes and research and all that. So I was like, okay, let me just do the live outside of once she's done, and that would be great. And I thank you all for y'all support for coming through. How school is going? Because I got some questions for that. School is going great in this course. I'm taking a criminal justice course, right? And I have an A so far, and we got one more week left of this course, the course I'm taking. So if I stay on track, if I don't drop, if I don't fail, I, I will graduate. I will graduate in June of next year. So what I will do, I will have some tickets for my graduation for next year. I will invite some people that are viewers of the Wally Show to be there. Now, I don't know what state it's going to be, so it may not be in your state. You may have trouble, and then we can probably go out to eat afterwards. You know what I'm saying, to celebrate. but because I do want to go to the club, I want to really celebrate that milestone. So that will be like next year. So be on the lookout for that. And what I would do, wherever they have the graduation, they say it may be sometimes it'd be in Vegas, sometimes it'd be in Austin, sometimes it'd be in Dallas. I want to have a meet and greet so we can do something in another place. So hopefully I will let you all know ahead of time. I think from my understanding, they said they let us a couple of months in advance to know where the graduation would be. So I would like for y'all to be a part of that graduation. Uh, so yes, I saw Lady T in here. I saw Lady T in here. Y'all give her a round of applause. Thank her for her support. But view, I saw her in here. I see you in here, Tasha. Who else is in here? I want to know how to pronounce your name, sister. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Let me scroll up. Is Deshawn? Did I say your name right, sister? I want to make sure I got it right. I don't want to make sure. I see Rod. Thank you. I see Rod in here. Who else is in here? Shard, love you. I see you in here. Shout out to Lady T. I saw Lady T in here as well. So shout out to everybody that tuned in for that. But the show was really, really good. The really, really, really good. I did shout out to President Obama. I'm sorry I couldn't go and be in Chicago and go to that open up in that museum, but I did get the video footage. It was packed. When I tell you, they was ending this really well. I do see some people out there protesting and marching, saying that it's going to gentrify the neighborhood. Of course, I mean, you want the neighbor. I want the South Side of Chicago to be beautiful. I want the South Side of Chicago to be where you can ride a bike, where you can run and do different things, and which is really great. It was all in a park. And for Jackson Park, used to be a park. It's changing now because of the presidential center, President Obama Center. There's not enough all that crime going over there like that. So they got the police over there. Mm, and that's dope. They got security over there, which is dope. And people was participating on the park. That's dope. So it's really really real. So I'm glad that they had it on the south side of Chicago. If you want your way better, it's definitely great. Um, so it is what it is. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So that's how it goes. Like when people like disagree with you, that's fine. Oh, somebody said a Wiley show on YouTube doesn't agree with facts. On tonight panel, Lord have mercy, child. Oh, it's good. Like I said, it's good entertainment. This stuff, like I tell you, it's good. The viewers are entertained. That's what viewers. That's where you come and you bring a good show. Well, let me see. I would love to interview Krishan. I didn't even know she was on Kick. Cause what is her Kick? I didn't know she was on Kick. I did not know she was on Kick. I'm really really shocked. I didn't know. I gotta follow her on Kick and just chit chat with her on there. Maybe she'll come on the show with us. That's the thing because we get on the show, it will wow, a lot of people will be coming on in support of that. So I'm gonna look into that. So I'm gonna try to send her a message. I gotta see who's her manager. I'm gonna send her a message. Be like, hey, let's come on the show. Let's talk. Let's talk about it and let's answer the questions over here. I would love to interview her because I know she did interviews, but I want her to come over here so we can ask her these topics because she's being dragged on the internet. When I tell you she's being dragged on the internet. So yes, this was fun. So thank y'all so very much for tuning in. I love it. Any questions for me? I see y'all in the bushes and y'all watching. Any questions for me? This was a good show, and I love y'all so much. We'll be back live later on today. Um, not during the day, y'all, because I'll be sleeping. But we will go back live um, later on today, and we have definitely chit chat. And I'm about to listen to me some music. I listened to Lotto, not Lotto, Lizzo. Lizzo, I ain't trying to talk about you, but that album was terrible. Did you listen to Lizzo album? It was terrible. I'm like, what happened to You Special? What happened to It's About Damn Time? What happened to those good records, them blockbuster records that you had? It's like this album was rushed. But what I will do, because I know somebody gonna be like, you ain't giving it enough time. You ain't giving it enough time. I'm about to listen to her album again, and we'll definitely see it on there and just a chit chat on there. So make sure y'all be in the building for that. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Wiley Show. If you want to contribute to the show, go to the Cash App at Wiley Show 1990. You can do the Venmo as well, and be very, very great. And yeah, I see some people here want me to get Lady T back on the show. She's booked and she's busy, but whenever she's free, if she ever want to come back on, she's more than welcome to come back on the Wiley Show. All right, and support this show. And so I don't think anyone listened to the album. Really, it was terrible. I listened to it. It was terrible. I literally went on there and clicked on it and listened to it. I did not enjoy it. It was terrible. And then I seen that Saucy Santana actually got a song out that's really good. So I'm loving that. But that song only got like 7,000 views or use, and that's low for an artist. Because usually, if you want the song to really be a hit, it needs to get like 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 million views. But because he ain't got that label where they can mass buy, that's how that go. Love y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Go ahead and get some rest, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Little black boy, you beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to God first. And I will let y'all know when we do a kick stream. So you can always sign up. We do have a number here. You can text me directly and I will send you the link 773-641-8742, 773-641-8742, and I will send you the link when we go live. Talk to y'all later. Peace.